Hello? Hello, hello, hello? Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Just making sure this thing's working properly. Haven't live streamed in a hot minute. Let me get this unpinned. Hello! Welcome to the stream, y'all. Well, this is fun. I gotta do a couple more things before we truly start, but how's everybody doing? How y'all hanging? You're doing good? I hope so. You better be. Alright. Sit here for a minute, 1 minute longer before we begin. See if anybody else comes in, and then we're going to start playing the Stanley Parable. For those who are wondering how the hell did I get the Stanley Parable, you can thank random people. Yippee! Hello. I'm gonna call you Bot. No, wait, no. I'm gonna call you Medic for now because I don't want to say your name in the live stream. Hello. Hi. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. One that I have game that I haven't played yet. All right. I am going to actually switch the screen now. Turkey sandwich. Unfortunately, I don't have any turkey in the house. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Believe me, if I had turkey, I would. Where the hell is my mouse? There it is. I'm going to give us some subtitles just in case. No, I have not played the Stanley Parable before. The computer is barely visible. You know what? Nah, I want to be blind. I want to go blind. Current time. For me, current time is 3:37 p.m. French? Ashby. Accessibility settings can be okay, cool, whatever. Oh, I like how the computer right here is just like the same shit over and over and over again. Alright, let me just make sure we got everything I want here. Can y'all hear the audio from the game good? There is audio playing in the game right now. Does it sound good for you guys? Do you want me to raise the volume? Do you want me to lower it? Hello! Oh, hi! Void, I'm gonna call you Void, because I'm not gonna say your... Actually, do you mind me saying your name, Void? Which one are you? Wait a minute. Hold on. Who are you? Are you Steven or you Moog? Hold on. I need to know. I doubt Steven would have changed her name. You can hear? Alright, good. Alright. Let's begin, shall we? Yes. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the...
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting,
Bro got quietly fired.
Never
and
in all
just
his years at the
him.
company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
What if I don't do that? What if I don't wanna? What if I wanna keep clicking buttons? You can actually you can interact. I didn't know. Oh. It's just everywhere for some reason. Okay, cool. Pencil sharpener? It's the pencil sharpener too. Oh my god.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Introverted dream. Watched Markiplier instead of doing work. Yeah, I would do this. I would probably do the same. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Okay, whatever. Let me in. Let me in. Okay. Let me in. Let me in. How do you get into that one? Full disclosure, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. Let me in. Let me in. Housekeeping. Lemon pledge. Open the fucking door, Tom. Open the door. Oh. Bro escaped through the fucking roof. Whoever was in here just fucking was like, nah, I'm not dealing with the guy at the door, and just went up. He wasn't having it. Let me in. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nah, that ain't happening.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Yes.
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished,
Game about?
here you sit looking at these
Fucking
chairs
no idea.
and some paintings.
I don't fucking
Really
remember.
worth it.
All I remember is it's a guy that's in this never-ending fucking cycle.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Shut up!
It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Fucking shut up, narrator. Anyway, it's like aggressively assaulting doors.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
You think he's gonna say anything again? Can I get a drink? It says cold drinks, bro. Fucking give. God damn it. Can I have coffee instead then? No. Okay, cool. Good to know.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Nah, I'm not doing that door. I'm doing this door instead. What about this door? I'm going this way.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yo! Good motivation. Don't lie, guys. Do not lie. If you're lying right now, stop it. Stop it. Get some help. Is there anything on these fucking pieces of paper that I can look at? Oh yes! Oh yes, this window is fucking amazing. Ooh, this one has a slidey thing. This one has a slidey thing, guys. Me at the apartment complex.
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it.
I found a vent.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had...
Oh.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording.
Oh my god,
What a
fuck
silly
you!
and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
What? What just happened? Oh, we just start over. Okay, cool. That's okay. Alright, anyway.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Computers.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's see what happens if we actually listen to the narrator this time. Let's just go. Let's just go, bro. Let's just fucking go, bro.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Bet. Let me in. Let me fucking get... Fine. Wait, was there a 420? Damn, we should have tried the 420 door. Damn. Not even 411's good.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
What? Why is Chris in the broom closet? Hire someone to surgerize paper. Okay. Papers are too singerized. Fire paper guy. Okay. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic of blah 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 blah. The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items. Right next day's agenda. Reflect. Employees 417, 405, 491, 416, 431, and Jim. Fucking, why is Jim so special? What the fuck? The Truman Show? Yeah, you know what? If Chris is not in the broom closet, I'm assuming he came out. You know, fucking, he's mop sexual. Alright, let's see what's on this. Meeting room, floor 4XX. Monday, weekly targets, admin, marketing Monday. Seems normal so far. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Why would you need a fucking manager for the whiteboard? What? Termination Tuesday. People get terminated specifically on Tuesdays? Damn. That's crazy. Office efficiency, legal. Just the word legal. Just the word legal. Anything that's legal happens on legal day. It has to be on Monday, on a Tuesday. It has to be on Tuesday. Alright, group 41X. Group 6X. Nothing after that. Wednesday, IT department. We're broke Wednesday. Financial panic meeting. What? We're broke. Let's have a financial panic. Boss's inspection. Group 42X. What the fuck is 8 bird? Wait a minute. What? Okay. Thursday, mergers. Ideas and development. Pre-review of weekend review. Wait, what? Why would you need a pre-review of that? Okay. Friday, weekly reviews. Pranking floors meeting. What? There's a floor specifically just for pranking. Okay, bet. Yo, that's actually fucking cool. What to do about 432. Don't tell 432 about this meeting. The meeting. Office party. Yo! Office party! Oh, Termination Tuesday is right here. It's right there. It says Termination Tuesday. It's right there. Don't worry, it's right there. Anyway, there's another whiteboard. Hold on. Let's go over here. Bi-quarterly post review. We need... Does that say homeless reviews? What? Oh, we need less reviews. Okay, never mind. Want to get rid of the death support portion in primary review schedule? Whoa! But I think that's a stupid idea. Okay, whoever you are. More water coolers. Yes, we need more water coolers. That's the exact thing we need in the office right now. We need more water coolers. More water heaters. More cooler heaters. Now that one I just don't fucking understand. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. You know what? That, out of everything here, would most likely be actually on a genuine fucking whiteboard. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Never mind. Oh my god. Oh my. Holy. Wait a goddamn second. Some sort of child trap. Oh no. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing at this point. More water cooler heaters. Hello, my fellow homies. Do you want to go skateboards? Size of demographic. Space between the teenagers. And then the actual fucking teenagers. What? Throw something in the ideas bin. 1. No more bins. Trash cans. No more bins / trash cans. Remaining of the idea bin. 3. Firing of me. Okay. Cool. What do people want? Things. Money. More money. Things, but with money to buy more things. Graphs. Graphs about things plus money. We have our new product. What? The stock market is somewhere here. What is hot? Target demographic teenagers. What is hot? Stripes. Requires more secondary research. Colored in segment. Profits. Facts. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Don't get fired. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no exception of... okay, never mind. To do. Synergize core value expenditures. Shift global market parade. Monetize free to play. What the fuck, bro? Put an apple in the bin? There's no bin! They got rid of the bins, bro! Wait. No, that's not a bin. Never mind. They got fucking rid of the bins. Oh my god! Oh my god, it's the broom closet! Yo! It's the... Do you think he's in there? Do you think he is in the broom closet? He's gotta be. There's no way they got him out of the broom closet, especially in this hellhole. Free to play TF2 reference. Oh my god.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No. How about no? How about I won't turn around and get back on track? Chris evidently
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
Oh my
no
god.
No reason to still be here.
He became a broom. Chris became a broom. Oh my god.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
What the fuck is FA?
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I like how the narrator is getting increasingly more confused.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Uh-huh. No, I gotta get the broom closet ending, man.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Did you get the broom closet ending?
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Oh, hey, that's
he
not
probably only
for.
got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Whoa, wait a goddamn second. Bro, what's wrong
Well,
with
I've come
you?
to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system.
Whoa.
And you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities.
No one
It's
would hear
indicative
this, man.
of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
So, evidently I'm dead. Alright, hold on, let me go get another guy. Hi, I'm Johnny. I'm here to continue to stream for the other guy. No, I'm joking.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. Fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Okay, no, let's get out of the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright. Okay. The door didn't open. What's over here? Oh, it's the executive bathroom. I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. That's a lovely purse. Okay. Extreme bathrooms. That is a crazy fucking magazine to have. Oh my god, it's another computer. Oh my god, it's an elevator. You know what? No, I wanna do it this way first. I'll come back for the elevator.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been
Chris
keeping
is doing
from
something
him.
with those mobs,
And so
man.
the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
Yo, I know the.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known
Alright,
this.
bet 2, 8, 4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Hello, Steven? The one that paid for this game? How's it going, Steven? Anyway. Alex who, everybody, is the reason why I have this game, by the way. Hold on, let me just make sure you know exactly who I'm talking about. Hold on. Oh, wrong button. Hold on. Scene 2. Window capture. Go to channel. Alright, let's see if this worked. Give me a second, y'all. Shit's busted, bro. Oh, wrong button. One second. Wrong button again. This is going great. I'm loving this. There we go. gonna take a minute to load. See this link right here? This link? Yeah, go to that. That's the person that got me the Stanley Parable. Anyway. Anyway, back to the game. I guess there's only one way to go, really.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Alright. Anyway, back on the move.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nope, I'm not doing that. I want to finish this first. This line first. Light bulb.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Now we're gonna escape the next go around. The next go around, because I know this thing just repeats itself. And so next go around we're gonna do the escape, as well as also the elevator. We're gonna do a lot of. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do. We'll figure it out.
Now the monitors jumped to life.
Bro, that guy got fired. That guy got fired too.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Fired. Anybody else get fired? Nope, just that one over there and one of them over there. I think it's 601 that got fired and 104 that got fired. I wonder why 601 and 104 got fired. They stole the
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yes. Most likely.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh, wait. Never mind. I know why.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Nah, I'm gonna press on.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
No, probably not.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange
Oh my
building
God!
hold? But as
I'm gonna go
sunlight
touch
streamed
grass.
into the chamber, he
Yo,
realized
I'm
none
about
of
to
this
go
mattered
touch
to him.
grass. Come
For
on,
it
open
was
the
not
door.
knowledge or
Open the
even
door.
power
Let me touch
that
the
he had
grass
been seeking,
outside.
but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
We need to go.
No longer would
All
anyone
right,
tell him where to
guys.
go,
We
what to do,
escaped.
or
Let's
how to
go
feel.
to McDonald's.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
Oh, fuck.
Stanley stepped through the open door.
What's with the fucking weird... I'm going...
Stanley
damn.
felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation,
You.
the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now,
McDonald's.
that things
Anyway.
were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Let's go to Waffle House instead. Okay. I got 2 achievements, one that just purely existed for getting an achievement, and one that said complete the Stanley Parable at least one time. Alright!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Yeah, I got it.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wait, hold on. Where's 420? 437. 426. Yo!
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference. Nor
Give me
did it
your
advance the
shit,
story
bro.
in any way.
Give me your shit, bro. I want the good stuff. Come on, man. Fucking goddamn it, Billy. Oh. Wait. Does that do anything? No. Can I click on it again? No. What? Do I go back?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
What? Okay. What? I don't understand that. Alright, whatever.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, let's go on through the door on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Nope, we're going past it.
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Nope, we're not going for the broom
But
closet.
Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? We went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Are you sure? Okay.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
What? Fuck you! Okay? Alright. Fucking... whatever.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wait, what? Why is that computer screen off now? Okay. Wait, what? Thought that said something. Moving forward.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh.
Oh, we
Everything
broke
should
it.
be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
I forgot
did
to
you
look at the
move
screen,
the story
sorry.
somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh. Okay. Huh. Eeny, meeny, I don't, I was not expecting this one. Let me walk around in a circle for a minute.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Wait. Okay. Well, shit.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
By the way, I don't know for sure, but there might be just a...
Okay, it's worse.
Whoa.
I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Anyway, what I was trying to say is, sorry I missed something on the screens. I guess I didn't fucking pay attention close enough. Ooh, touchy. I'm just touching shit.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Okay. Ow. Okay.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Thanks.
Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Oh, fuck you!
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Okay, we're restarting again, evidently. Oh my god! Oh my god! It's my favorite boy! It's my favorite boy! It's the fucking adventure line!
All right, I've got a solution.
Yes.
This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
Yes!
Let's follow the line. How simple is
That fucking adventure line! This is awesome. Wait, I want the music. I want the whimsical music, please. Oh. 425 opened their door for us. Yo, they're playing solitaire in here, bro. Hold on, let me just make sure I click everything. I have to touch everything before we go anywhere. Hold on. I have to make sure I have some autistic moment or some shit. I don't fucking know. The adventure line, yo.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
To destiny!
Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Yes, whimsical music.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Alright, let's study this fern very closely. Alright. Ah, it smells good. It smells like a fake plant because this is an office building. Anything interesting about the plant you guys seen? I'm not seeing much about the fern. You think the fern is a paid actor? What does it look like, medic? What does it look like? A tree. Okay, we're leaving. I've had enough. Give us the whimsical music back.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh, the screens! The screens!
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through...
104 is fired.
Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
What? I was looking at the screens, goddammit!
Alright, let's try that again.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right?
How dare you
Why can't we
forget the
make up our
adventure
own
line?
story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
I want to
Whatever
ride a
it might be,
turtle
Stanley,
into
I'm
battle with a
ready for
fucking
it.
flaming sword while wearing a pirate hat.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms.
The line
Just
is
don't acknowledge it.
cool.
We should be fine.
The line is chill. The line's a chill dude. He might be a little pissed off right now, but he's chill. Oh. Okay, evidently he's gone.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Yes.
How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
The confusion ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule?
No, I think we just
How would we even
skipped
know?
the fifth.
Will someone
restart.
come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
What? Okay. Alright, whatever.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Looks like we're starting over again.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's follow the story for a little bit.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay.
Oh no, no, not again.
Yay!
I'm part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
You think if we wait long enough, we'll get annoyed and start talking again? There's a fucking wrench in here. Yo, it's Engineer's wrench! Yo! Okay, anyway. Damn. Anyway.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Let's walk downstairs. Let's go down the stairs.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream.
I'm blind.
I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and
Oh,
my
bro's
wife,
gonna wake
and
up.
my
Totally.
job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
That sounded kind of depressing.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Okay. Damn.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Huh?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. Well, that was very interesting. Anyway, let's continue.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Stanley
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
We're
memo.
gonna go at this one more round. Then we're going to end the stream. We have been going at this for an hour. Ooh. Ooh, this thing returned. Nice. Something feels off. I don't know.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
weird.
he entered the door on his left.
I'm back in the fucking building again! Alright, let's go left.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Yep, I got it.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
They boarded up the broom closet! No! Oh, those were the screens you were talking about. Yeah, I've been paying attention to those. No! They got in our broom closet. We can't go back in the closet anymore. Damn. Anyway.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, we're gonna do that. Hold on, let me check. Okay, that's not there yet. We're not going that way. We are going this way. Which way we going? Which way we going, gang? Up or down? This is all Jim's fault. I'm assuming Jim and Chris probably left Alright, bet. Fucking down is closest to left. Did I just hear it say Stanley? I swear I just heard somebody softly say Stanley. This is a pretty long elevator ride. That's funny. Yeah, it does sound like it's the narrator singing. But this is the same exact floor. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Damn. I have to go this way. Alright, this time we're gonna escape. We're gonna escape this time, y'all.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nah,
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Violent death? That sounds
the door behind
fun.
him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
The end is never the end, is never the end.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, it reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
Well.
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly
Ah!
into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated, as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Hold on. Let me actually read these signs. Office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development through the core layout, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor had been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. The two doors. The set of two open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Okay. The office. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Okay. Office computers. Okay. What's this way? Okay. Oh. I fucking didn't read that at all. Basis of this one is just they had a battlefield made that where Stanley would fight aliens, but they removed it because it evidently was seen as it was interpreted as making fun of people who like shooters. Hold on. would have been cool if they added that. Sorry, I'm currently seeing something. That's weird. Okay, anyway, going back to this. Ultra Dog, yada yada yada. This is just a bunch of information about the game. Wait, hold on. What's this? Five, four, three, two, one. Oh, fuck you. Okay, cool. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. This way. Nope, not this way. This way. Exit!
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose
I'm gonna
it.
let him die.
Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Oh well. And with that, we are going to end the stream. We'll pick this up again in the next stream. Thank you all for watching. This has been a great pleasure. And I hope to see some of you in the next live stream. Anyway,